Well, what's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I've got some very fun battles to show you in the Hisui Cup, running a double electric and grass team with Hisuian Electrode and Rotom Mow form. Now this form of Rotom has currently only been available at the in-person Go Fest, as far as I believe anyway, so correct me if I'm wrong, but as I went to the Berlin Go Fest, I have access to this Pokemon. I'm just going to say it's definitely not as good as the Hisuian Electrode, and it actually doesn't learn any grass type moves in Pokemon Go, but we do have Ominous Wind as a somewhat okay bait move, but it doesn't do much damage. If you can get the boost, then that's really cool, but I think I only got boosts in like scenarios where I wasn't able to get to another charge move, so pretty pointless. But yeah, it's a cool Pokemon. And then of course in the lead I've got a Shadow Bibarel, mainly just to cover the weakness to Frostlass, as it's a very common Pokemon in this meta. We can do some big damage with Wild Charges and Ominous Wind, but we need something that resists all of Frostlass's moves, so we've got the Bibarel in the lead. Unfortunately, if we meet something like an Abomasnow, then that's going to be very tough, but otherwise it has decent coverage all around with this team. And with that being said, let's get into the question of the day. Which Rotom form are you most looking forward to being released in Pokemon Go? Now of course we don't know what the movesets will be just yet, but if you go on typing alone, which one is the most exciting to you? And tell me why in the comment section. And with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead Bibarel into Toxicroak, so not a very good lead. We're going to safe swap into the Hisuian Electrode, and here we can definitely get a shield advantage in this matchup. We don't need to shield the first Body Slam, it's going to do a decent chunk, but we're able to get to the back-to-back Wild Charges, and one of these will force a shield. We get the shield from the first one. We're going to farm up as much as possible before throwing the next Wild Charge, hoping that we could possibly get to 2, but we're not able to, so that is potentially a mistake, as we give them extra energy, whereas if we threw the back-to-back straight away, they would get less licks and potentially they wouldn't be able to get to 2 Body Slams here up against the Bibarel. So we shield the first one, we have to let the second one go through, but we are able to Water Gun farm them down. We're going to go for one Water Gun and then go for the Surf here up against the Toxicroak, hoping to get the final shield from the Toxicroak here, and we get it. We switch into the Rotom and they have a Bibarel of their own. We're easily going to be able to take them out with a Thunderbolt, sorry. Boom, we take him out here and we are able to get to the move here. Shield this up, it's just going to be a Mud Bomb, but that's fine. We go for the Thunderbolt, and is this going to be enough to take out the Toxicroak? Yes it is, and boom, we take out the Toxicroak and we win that game. So GG's to that opponent. Into the next game, we lead into a Drifblim. Now my whole team does very well up against Drifblim, so I'm not too worried. They switch into a Gastrodon, so I'm actually just going to stay in. I know I have 2 grass types in the back, but I only have 1 grass type move between them, and yeah, obviously the Gastrodon does resist the Thunder Shocks from both Pokemon, so I'm just going to stay in, get the second shield, or take out this Gastrodon, and we take them out. So I'm actually going to instantly switch here into the Rotom. They come in with a Wormadam Trash, and I'm just going to go for a Thunderbolt here, and I have no intentions of shielding anything up against this Wormadam. We land the Thunderbolt, it does a ton of damage. My opponent gets to the charge move, I'll just let this go through, and I'm actually going to come in with the Electrode here and just commit to a full Thundershock farm down here, as that is the best play for me. They go for the charge move here. I still have a shield. I can shield this up, and I'm just going to go straight for the Thundershock. Farm down. My opponent realizes they're getting farmed down, so they switch into the Drifblim, but it doesn't matter. We go for Wild Charge, number 1. We get the shield. Wild Charge coming in again, and boom, we take out the Drifblim. I switch into the Bibarel, and I'm able to Water Gun farm down that Wormadam and take that game. Into the next game, we lead into a Frostlass, so another good lead here up against the Frostlass. We do resist both moves coming from the Frostlass, although Avalanche still chunks the Bibarel and it does about 50% of our health. We're going to go for a Surf here just before they reach the second Avalanche, and my opponent lets it go through. They come in with a Gastrodon here, so I think the best play is just go for a Surf and then let the Bibarel go down. Unfortunately, they let that go through, so there's not really any point coming in with the Electrode here, because it takes a while to get to the energy ball, so I might as well come in with the Rotom. We get a shield there with the Ominous Wind. I'm going to shield up a Body Slam, and I'm hoping I can get to another Ominous Wind, but they get there before me. But I should be able to live a Body Slam from this range, and I have the energy for another Ominous Wind, so I'm going to throw it here into the Gastrodon. It doesn't take him out. I come in with the Electrode. My opponent switches into their own Hisuian Electrode, and now this is going to be a tough matchup. We do have a slight energy advantage, but really it depends on who gets the debuff in the matchup here. So my opponent goes for the energy ball, and it does take us into the yellow because of that one Mud Slap damage we took from the Gastrodon. They go for another energy ball and they get the debuff, so things are not looking good for us. We get a shield with the energy ball, but they are just barely into the yellow, and unfortunately we lose the CMP tie here. But they go for the Wild Charge. We live with 1 HP. Now their defense is dropped. We're going to be able to take them out with the energy ball, and one Thunder Shock takes out the Gastrodon, and somehow we win that game. So GG's to that opponent. I think they should have just gone for the energy ball and they would have been able to take it. But fortunately we're able to win that one. So into the next game we lead into another Frostlass, and once again they're going for the Avalanche, so possibly Bibarel core breaks the team. They switch into an Empoleon here, and rather foolishly I go for a CMP tie with the Drill Peck here. I shield it up, and now I'm going to undercharge this, but boom, we still nearly take out the Empoleon, so that one Thunder Shock doesn't really give me that much of an advantage here. They come back in with the Frostlass. We're going for the energy ball here, expecting to get a shield. But we don't get a shield and we take them out. They come in with a Lucario, so this is a bit tricky now. I don't have a strong response to Lucario, so I'm going to come in with the Rotom as we do take neutral damage from the counters. I'll shield this up. They go straight for the Shadow Ball, which is really good for me because if I no shielded that, it would have been GG's straight away. We get a shield with the Ominous Wind. They go for a Power Punch. We should live this and get to another charge move up against this Lucario. Can we get the shield here? Yes we can, and now we can come in with the Bibarel, go for a Surf, and from this range with the Shadow, it's enough to take out the Lucario, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next match, we lead Bibarel into yet another Frostlass. This is a very common lead, so you're going to see a lot of Frostlass, and we're going to win a lot of leads. But unfortunately, they come in with a Lucario here, and Lucario can just 2-shield Power Punch its way through my entire team. So that is very much a problem in the safe switch position, as they're going to be able to win back switch advantage. I want to get at least the final shield from this Lucario, which we're able to do with the Wild Charge here, but they're able to counter farm me down, and now they're double boosted with their counter damage. They're doing huge damage here. We go for the move, but they CMP tie with us, so this is not looking good at all. They go for the Power Punch. It nearly takes us out from this range. We go for the Ominous Wind. We take them out. We get a pointless boost. And now we're just barely able to get to the Hyper Fang before Toxicroak gets to the move or takes us out. Boom, we take out the Toxicroak, but unfortunately Frostlass is going to be able to get to a move here, and we just have no health on the Rotom, so we get Powder Snow down. So unfortunately we lose that game despite winning the lead, and it was all down to Lucario winning back switch advantage. Into this next game, we lead into a Gastrodon here, and I go for the Surf just before, or on the CMP tie I think, no, just before they get to a Body Slam. I'm going to shield this up and then go for one more Surf before switching out. Actually no, I'm just going to switch out straight away. I don't know what I'm talking about. I bait out a Frostlass, which is good, but I'm going to go for the Wild Charge here. They no shield it, and I'm able to get to a second Wild Charge, although they probably will be able to farm me down from this range. So they shield that up. And from this range, Bibarel actually will not be able to tank an Avalanche, which is unfortunate, but I'm willing to let it go down here. I'm going to come in with the Rotom here, shield this up. Hopefully I can Thunder Shock, farm down this Frostlass, but they have a Bomber Snow in the back. So unfortunately, double Ice types in the back just counters my team very well, so I'm not able to take that game. Into the next game, we lead into another Frostlass, so you're going to see a common theme here, and that is Frostlass is an extremely common lead. Now this time I've learned from my mistakes. I'm not going to go for the wild charge straight away. I'm actually going to go to 99 energy, throw the wild charge here, I undercharge it, but boom, we still take out the Empoleon. I definitely need to work on my undercharging in this matchup because I'm going to be able to gain even more energy whilst taking resisted waterfall damage from the Empoleon, and I could even get to 3 wild charges up against the Frostlass here, but we get both shields with both wild charges there, which is perfect. I can come in with Bibarel, tank any move that the Frostlass throws. They're probably going to switch out. They do. They switch into the Toxicroak here, and we should be able to tank a Mud Bomb from this range, so we're not going to shield it. We're just barely able to get to the Thunderbolt here up against the Toxicroak. Boom, we take them out there, and now from this range we should be able to get to a Surf, and with the Water Gun damage we should be able to take this game before they get to the back-to-back moves, and we're able to take out the Frostlass there. So GG's to that opponent. Into the next game, we lead into a Hippowdon. They're probably running Fire Fang, so they switch into Empoleon. Once again, we have the perfect answer in Hisuian Electrode. The reason I shield this up is just because I want to guarantee I can win even the 2 shield scenarios, so that they're not able to flip switch advantage. We go for the Wild Charge, and there we get another decent undercharge, but we only get 1 extra Thunder Shock, which is still not the best. They come in with Hisuian Quillfish there. We go for the wild charge, we land it, it does huge damage, and this will be getting a shield from the Quillfish. We get the shield from my opponent, and now I'm going to actually just come in with the Rotom and sacrifice it because I don't really have any need for it. They have a Hippowdon in the lead that likely is running Fire Fang, so I can comfortably win that matchup with the Bibarel. I'm actually not going to shield this. If they go for the Aqua Tail, which they do, we're going to simultaneously KO, and my opponent knows that there's nothing they can do, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, we lead into a Cresselia. Now this is not a good matchup as Cresselia can run Grass Knot, so we're going to switch here, try to catch the move. My opponent holds on to all of their energy and switches into a Bastiodon. We're going to go for a Wild Charge here up against the Bastiodon. It does a decent amount of damage, probably about 35%. We go for another Wild Charge here, and we have the back-to-back. So we land this one and go for another one, and they don't get a Smackdown through, which means that's a CMP tie. We're going to be getting a shield from this Bastiodon, which is exactly what I need. They go for the Flamethrower. They actually undercharge it, which is the correct play from them. But it doesn't matter. I'm still going to be able to come in with Bibarel and Water Gun, farm them down. They come in with the Cresselia. I switch to try and catch the Grass Knot, and am I able to do it? Yes, I am. They go for the Grass Knot here, and I'm going to shield up the second move as it is likely going to be a Moonblast, which it is. I'm going to go for an Ominous Wind up against the Cresselia here. And I'm going to go for another Ominous Wind here up against the Cresselia, and I'm really hoping that whatever is in the back I should be able to take with the Rotom and the Bibarel combined. But unfortunately they have their own Electrode, which is not looking good for me. I go for an Ominous Wind here, and we don't get a shield or do very much damage at all. I hopefully can tank this. They go for the Wild Charge, which is a mistake as we're able to tank it. I get to another Ominous Wind. I need the shield, but I'm not able to get it, and now I'm not going to be able to win this game because Surf going to get a shield, but they have a Wild Charge loaded, and they're going to be able to take me out from this range, and we lose that game. So GG's to my opponent there. Very close game, but they played very well. Into the next game, we lead into a Drifblim, so a very good lead, and they switch into Empoleon. So you're going to see so many people switching in Empoleon, thinking it is a safe swap, but Electrode would like to have a word because this is very nice for me here. I have undercharged ever so slightly less this time round, and I'm able to get 2 Thunder Shocks this time. So will that make the difference in this matchup? They come in with Bastiodon. I go for the Energy Ball. We actually get a shield from them, and now I'm going for the Wild Charge here. I'm only going to be able to get to 1 more charge move, and we land it there. Now I can just safely switch into the Bibarel, shield once, and they either switch into Drifblim and they're not going to be able to do any damage, or they stay in and get completely farmed down with Water Gun from the Shadow Bibarel, and my opponent is going to concede the match there. So GG's to that opponent there. And now into the final game here. We lead into an Electrode. We're going to switch into our Rotom, as this should be okay because we do have neutral Ominous Winds to deal some okay damage, whereas everything they throw is resisted or double resisted in that case. They come in with Cresselia. I'm going to go for an Ominous Wind there and get to the back-to-back Ominous Winds here. I only counted 6 Psycho Cuts here, but they're actually at 7, so it's a CMP tie, and I let it go through hoping it's a Grass Knot, but it's a Moonblast. It takes us out, and now we have messed up here. And I'm going to come in with the Electrode here. I'm able to switch and catch the move. It is just a Grass Knot, and I'm able to Thunder Shock, farm down this Cresselia. It looks like they were slightly lagging there, so I'm not sure if they would have got to another move or not. I go for an Energy Ball up against the Electrode. We land it. It does about 35-40% damage again. We go for another Energy Ball, and we get a shield from my opponent. My opponent is holding onto the energy, and now they're just going to fire multiple charge moves in a row. They go for one Energy Ball. They go for another charge move here. This is probably going to be a Wild Charge. Nope, it's another Energy Ball. I'm going for a Wild Charge here up against the Electrode. My opponent actually lets it go through, so a bit of a mistake by me. They switch to catch a move into the Empoleon. We're going to undercharge it, but they shield anyway, so I'm switching back into the Bibarel. Going for one Surf here. No one move is going to be able to take out this Empoleon, so I go for the cheaper energy move. I'm going to shield up the Drill Peck, and then hopefully I can farm up to the back-to-back Surfs here. We go for the first Surf. This is going to be taking out the Empoleon. And do we win CMP? Yes, we do, and we're going to be able to take out the Electrode here and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, then make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already, for a chance at a shout out in my next GBL video. And with that being said, let's get into the shout outs from my previous video. So firstly, we've got Eden Nail and Willy333B, who both say Regirock. Regirock was once available from the weekly breakthrough research boxes, but that's been like a good few years since we had legendaries from the breakthrough boxes. Nowadays we just get some random rubbish that we can get from the wild anyway, so it almost seems a bit pointless. Definitely doesn't motivate me to do a quest every single day to make sure I get the weekly breakthrough box, but yeah, that's just how Pokemon Go has moved, unfortunately. So Regirock hasn't been available for ages, but it would be very cool if it was available once again at level 15, so it could fit into the Great League. Next we've got Matt J155, Kedzi and Dirt Pogo PvP, who all say that they would like to see Giratina altered to be available at a Great League CP. Currently it is not obtainable in the Great League at all, so it would definitely be cool. It would be very strong in the Great League and the meta would certainly shift, but it would be interesting to see how things change. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.